If you think you've seen everything, you might want to think again. In this video, we'll show you real-life couples that will make you question if what you're seeing could possibly be true. These are pairs who willingly risk their lives every day, keep chilling secrets together, and perform rituals that seem straight out of a horror movie. Some of them simply look completely disturbing. These relationships push every boundary of what you can imagine. Stay tuned. This is CurioMind. Let's start with this family from St. Petersburg, Florida. Trina and Mike have a very disturbing habit. They're addicted to enemas. Yes, you heard that right. They're addicted to regularly flushing out their intestines. And by regularly, we don't mean once in a while. They do it 4 times a day. But that's not even the craziest part. Instead of using a normal cleansing solution, they use coffee. Trina came up with this strange idea 3 years ago after struggling for a long time with stomach problems. She claims the coffee enemas helped her. Her husband Mike thought it was disgusting at first, but decided to give it a try. And since then, he loves it just as much. The two now even argue over who gets to go first every morning. Together, they spend more than 5 hours a day preparing and performing their coffee enemas. While the liquid flows into their intestines, they lie on the floor and do normal things. Answer emails, watch TV, relax. Afterwards, they go to the toilet and say they feel cleansed from the inside. Doctors, however, strongly warn against it. There's absolutely no proof it's healthy. Still, Trina and Mike say they simply can't live without their daily coffee enemas. Next up, a couple that lives a relatively normal life, except for how they look. Meet Gabriela and Victor Peralta from Argentina and Uruguay. They hold a very unique world record, the record for the most body modifications by a couple. Together, they've undergone 98 different procedures. We're talking massive ear tunnels, silver teeth, a split and tattooed tongue, black and neon yellow eyeballs, and fully tattooed skin from head to toe. They've even had silicone implants inserted under their skin. And most recently, Victor added horn implants to his forehead. Meeting them in the dark would scare most people, because they look more like aliens than humans now. But Gabriela and Victor love their body art, and are proud to have found a partner who shares their extreme passion. The next couple also loves to live on the edge. Angela Nicolau and Ivan Burkus from Russia have a hobby that puts their lives at risk every single day. And that's not an exaggeration. Their current home, New York City, is perfect for their daring passion. After all, it's full of some of the tallest skyscrapers in the world. Angela and Ivan love climbing them. Illegally and without any safety equipment. They're known for taking dangerously breathtaking selfies on top of the world's highest buildings. The photos and videos they capture during these risky climbs make anyone watching feel instant vertigo. Sometimes they climb barefoot without ropes, hundreds of meters above the ground. In some clips, you can even see them slip for a moment. Other times, they simply pose together on a narrow ledge, without holding on to anything. One wrong gust of wind, and they could lose their balance. Every single step could mean death, yet they can't stop chasing the thrill of danger together. Sometimes a shared passion brings couples closer together. But in this next case, calling it a passion is more than disturbing. In September 2017, construction workers found a lost phone on a sidewalk. At first, nothing unusual until they looked inside. They discovered horrifying photos of a man posing with a severed woman's head, his fingers in her mouth and nose. The workers immediately alerted the police. Soon after, officers arrived at the home of Natalia and Dmitry Balchev from Krasnodar, Russia. The phone was traced back to them, and investigators ordered a search of their home. What they found there shocked even the most seasoned officers. Body parts, human skin preserved in jars, and photos of the couple posing with corpses. They also discovered a handwritten recipe book containing gruesome instructions. Despite this mountain of evidence, DNA traces of potential victims were missing. Only one murder could be proven, that of a single woman. Both were sentenced to up to 12 years in prison, but many believe the real number of victims could be as high as 30. After that horrific case, let's move to a story that's not disturbing, but deeply heartbreaking. 10-year-old Emma Edwards from North Carolina married her childhood sweetheart, Daniel Williams, in the summer of 2023. What's shocking isn't that two children got married, but the reason why. Emma was suffering from terminal leukemia. Doctors told her family that she only had a few days left to live. Her final wish was to marry Daniel. Family and friends quickly organized a small ceremony in her grandmother's garden. It wasn't a legal marriage, but they made it feel as real as possible. Emma wore a purple princess dress. There were witnesses, music, and even rings.
Emma, do you take Daniel Marshall Christopher Williams Jr. to be your love from this day forward?
Just a few days later, Emma passed away. A truly tragic story. From that touching story, we move to a completely crazy couple. Alexander Kudlej and Victoria Pustovitova from Ukraine came up with a bizarre idea to save their troubled relationship. After countless arguments, Alexander shouted during a fight, "Fine, I'll chain you to me." And they actually did it. Literally. They handcuffed themselves together. Not for a few hours, but for an unbelievable 123 days. They spent every moment side by side, cooking, showering, even working together. Victoria was a beautician. Alexander sold cars online. Somehow it worked. Of course, they had no privacy at all. Even during bathroom breaks, one waited just outside the door. After more than 3 months, they finally removed the cuffs and broke up immediately. Today, both say they'd never do anything like that again. Things get even more disturbing with our next couple from Austin, Texas. They call themselves Countess Leah and Count Tim, and as their names suggest, they don't see themselves as ordinary humans. They truly believe they are vampires, and they live exactly like it. They had sharp dental crowns made for their fangs to look like real vampire teeth. But that wasn't enough for them. They actually drink blood from each other. Every day they perform a blood-feeding ritual where each drinks a small amount from the other's arm. They say blood tastes better than any food, like the finest chocolate in the world. For them, it's a ritual of love that makes them feel closer and full of energy. That brings us to another shocking case. A 12-year-old girl from Queensland, Australia, once showed her mother a positive pregnancy test. The pregnancy was the result of a consensual relationship with her 13-year-old boyfriend, but of course it wasn't planned. Both immediately decided they wanted an abortion. However, because they were legally still children, a court had to decide whether the girl was mature enough to understand the consequences. The judge agreed and allowed the procedure to go forward, an experience that very few 12-year-olds could ever imagine. Which of these stories shocked you the most? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to CurioMind for more unbelievable real-life stories.